Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to SweViver. Today we're going up in the air again, trying out the Aerofly FS2 flight simulator. Guys, you probably already know that this flight simulator has native VR support already. Yes, but yesterday this game or simulator got an update that adds full hand support. Yes, we actually have hands in VR now, just like in the X-Plane 11 simulator. We can interact with everything in the cockpit of the aircraft thanks to our HTC Vive controllers or Oculus Rift controllers. So guys, I'm very excited to see how this works and how this performs, especially in terms of interaction and level of interaction compared to the X-Plane 11. And also I'm very curious about the graphical quality of this simulator and also the performance, because I heard it has awesome performance. So let's just jump right into the virtual reality and we're gonna try out Aerofly FS2 flight simulator with hands. Let's go. Alright guys, Aerofly FS2 flight simulator in virtual reality on the HTC Vive with hands. Guys, we have finally hands in this simulator and the hands looks great, I gotta tell you. We can do gestures with our fingers and well, let's hope this is gonna work out fine. We're just gonna jump into the settings first of all, and for those of you that are not familiar with this simulator, I'm just gonna show you some of the settings here. These are the general settings. Everything here is on default. Actually, I'm gonna use the overlay hidden, so I'm not gonna use it because I don't think that's necessary. I don't even know if it's working in virtual reality, to be honest. Let's see the controls. We're just gonna use our hands this time, so no joystick is attached to my computers, but you can actually do probably everything with a joystick and the keyboard as well. You can change and map so many buttons and functions into everything. Look at that. But we're not going to do that now. I'm not sure about the controllers configurations here, so let's just leave it. We're just going to jump into the graphical part. And first off, I'm going to use window mode because I'm recording this. And well, you can probably put this on full screen with I have a 4K monitor, of course, so this is going to show me the 4K, but I'm going to leave it on window mode only. And also we have a frame rate limiter, and I don't know why it's set on 120 frames per second, because VR only uses 90 frames per second, but I'm gonna leave that on 120. It's the default value and I'm not gonna touch that. Probably it's gonna work fine. Also, the graphical quality is gonna set to ultra, and that's kind of the highest settings. Everything is on ultra. The shadows, the terrain mesh quality, the building density, everything is on ultra except for the shadow quality, which you actually can put on insane, but I'm not gonna do that in this gameplay because I'm actually using super sampling of 2.0 in SteamVR already. So I'm not gonna change the render scale factor here either. It's gonna be on 1.0 at default. You can change it up to 2.0, but I have it already in SteamVR. And well, why do this? I think it looks very sharp from here. I can read the text without any problems, and I think it's gonna be well enough for this simulator and this gameplay. Also, there is a scale factor, and that is so cool because so much people have been complaining about the scale in X-Plane 11, for example, you know, everything being too small or the aircraft being too big compared to real life. So finally you can adjust the scale, and you can adjust it from -1 to 1, but I'm actually gonna leave it on 0 because, well, I hope it's gonna work fine on default. I'm not gonna change that. We're gonna use some lens flare effect and also show hand controllers during simulation. Of course, we're just gonna use the hands and nothing else. And show native view on main monitor. I'm gonna have it on no, but that doesn't even matter because you're seeing OpenVR mirror view of what I'm seeing inside of this headset right now, and that has a little bit better field of view. That's why I choose to use that one for the recording. Anyway, before we start up a new flight, let's just jump into the flight school. And as you can see, I just been browsing through them a little bit, and there are 21 different lessons, and that is so cool. Especially if you haven't played this simulator before, you really should take those lessons and learn how to fly, how to take off, how to land. So anyway, we have 18 different aircrafts, and well, first off, the Cessna 172 Skyhawk, my favorite plane. It's so easy to begin with. You can change the painting as well. We're gonna just use the standard. Let's see the other planes just for fun. King Air C90, awesome one. I love this aircraft. Whoa, I just jumped back into the menu. Okay, I'm not supposed to touch the aircraft. Also, we have the Sopwith F1 Camel, we have Extra 330, whoa, we have the Strike Eagle F15 and the F18, wow! Okay, we are gonna try those aircrafts in another video, but not today, not today. I need to practice, alright guys? So we have some other cool old aircrafts, the Jungmeister, and also we have the Lariat 45, one of the most basic Lariats out there, very popular one, and some more military aircrafts, the Pitts S2B, wow, and also a glider or whatever they're called. We have the Airbus A320, and you can of course change the, oh nice, you can change the painting as well, look at that. AirAsia, I've been flying a lot with them, Air Berlin as well as Air France. Oh well, I've been flying a lot in my life, not in planes, but well, traveling a lot at least. Here's another glider, or I don't know even what they're called, sailplane it's called. Okay, sorry guys. Baron 58, another favorite aircraft. And we have the Boeing 737-500, one of the most common airplanes in traffic today. Lovely plane to fly. And also the jumbo jet Boeing 747-400, one of the biggest ones, KLM. Wow, this is so cool. Guys, today we're just gonna fly with the Cessna 172 Skyhawk with standard painting because I think it's a good start for us all. So let's jump into the locations. We are gonna start off from the San Francisco International. Once again, just like before, I have already preset this location on this map, because I want to really compare this simulator to X-Plane 11 and my previous flight, especially my first flight in X-Plane 11, where I was actually flying around, well, kind of with the default settings, default scenery, and so guys, let's see. I'm gonna choose this San Francisco International Airport, and we're gonna choose the same runway, the 10R runway, and let's go into navigation. We can also navigate. But we're not going to do that today. You can well, make a flight plan if you want. It's very easy, it's very handy to do it like this. But we're going to skip that today because we're just going to fly around very shortly in the San Francisco Bay Area. Also, let's go into conditions. And time is not that important. I think it's the local time right now. Yeah, I think so. And also the wind is just on default. I'm gonna leave it on quite calm because I don't want to make it too difficult for today. And the clouds, let's see the clouds. The visibility is set on high, and I prefer it on high. I want to see as much as possible from the terrain. I want to compare the graphics, of course, and with the X-Plane 11. And well, density, cloud density, let's put it a little bit higher maybe, something like that. And we're gonna leave everything as it is. So guys, I think we're done now. We're gonna jump into our Cessna and start a new flight, and start the engines first of all. There we go guys, we are in the Cessna 172 Skyhawk once again, and I feel quite familiar with this airplane and the surroundings. Maybe you do as well. This is the same runway and the same airplane we have been playing with before, but now we're doing it with the Aerofly FS2 flight simulator. So guys, let's see how the hands work first of all. I'm gonna turn off the engine because I think it may be too loudy. Well, there we go. Nice. Awesome. So the interaction seems to be working great. Let's see the throttle first of all. Haha, cool. Well, it feels like I'm really touching it with my fingers, and that is awesome. I like that. Well, I cannot do it very fast, or maybe I can. Well, I think it's a matter of getting used to this. Here's the mixtures as well. Very easy to grab. Let's see the gauges. Okay, let's see the altitude meter. Oh yes, take a look at that. This is so easy. This is so cool. And I actually like that we are not getting highlighted gauges or the knobs while moving them. I don't know if you can turn that off in Explain 11, but here it's off on default, and I kind of like that, to be honest. Wow, the gauges look awesome. You see the reflection of them as well, the glass reflection looks awesome. So let's see, count 2, up, down. Wow, everything seems to be working, I assume. Oh yeah, I can hear that I'm turning the knob. I'm not gonna change anything here right now. Sorry guys, I just started up something here. It was so long time ago I did this. You know, the navigation and everything, the communication with those comm panels and those radios. So let's see more. Oh, we have a GPS here. That's cool. Can I like... Oh yes, look at this. We are on the runway. We can clearly see that we're standing on the runway. So I assume that's the map textures being visible on this GPS. That is so cool. We can really zoom in and of course zoom out. So here's the San Francisco Bay Area, and here we have San Francisco City. We're gonna fly a little bit into the Alcatraz and also see the Golden Gate Bridge. So let's see, I'm gonna zoom in just in a little bit. Wow, you really have to be easy on the controllers. There we go. Let's have it on like that. So anyway, guys, I don't even know where to start. Everything looks very, very nice. Whoa, we have a lens flare as well. The sun is being rendered correctly this time. It's getting faulty or wrong rendered in Explain 11 for some reason. They're gonna probably fix that later on. Anyway, let's see the flaps. Oh yeah, seems to be working great. And they're going down. Awesome. I cannot hear anything though. Maybe I'm not supposed to hear them. Let's see the back. Huh, cool. So we can actually not teleport back here, I assume. Well, I don't think so at least. And we can actually rearrange ourselves or realign ourselves all the time by pushing up or, well, in any direction on the left touchpad. So that is awesome. It's very easy to realign yourself. And well, I think I'm gonna sit like that. Let's see, I'm not gonna open any doors here. I don't think that's necessary. Let's see all those little knobs and the buttons and so. The master switches are already, so I'm gonna leave them. And let's see, fuel pump, beacon. Oh, cool! Look at this. I can actually just touch it with my finger. So I don't have to grip it like that to change it. I'm just touching it. Look at this. Beacon, landing lights, taxi lights, navigation lights, strobe. The pilot heat is, well, I think I'm gonna leave it off. I don't know if I really need that on the takeoff. Avionics masters, they're already on. Guys, this is nice. Look at this. I'm not sure if I actually push this one, but I can actually change those knobs without even pushing any trigger button or anything. That is so awesome. We can change the, yes, of course, we can change the pitch here. We can change the fuel injection or whatever it's called. We can probably not use this radio. And there are some, well, let's just skip that. I know I'm getting geeky now. Let's see, how is the yoke working? Let's grab it. Oh, yes. Look at that. That's the realistic way of holding a yoke. I know that has been added with the latest update on Explain 11 as well. So you really have to push it forward, push it backwards or pull it backwards and also move it to the sides like this to turn the airplane. And that feels much more realistic. I think I'm not used to this method, so I'm not sure how it's gonna work. What concerns me right now is that the rudders are not actually moving. So I'm not sure how am I supposed to even move the aircraft while on the ground or in air doing those horizontal movements. Well, let's see, I'm gonna try to, oh! There we go. Okay. So the left touchpad on the Vive controller, if you slide it to the right or left, you are actually using the rudders this way. So that is good. So they're separate now. We can steer it like this and use the rudders to look. Ah, awesome. Finally. Of course, if you are using a joystick, you are gonna have separate controllers for that as well. But with the controllers or the hands, you really want separate controllers for this. You can, well, still you know, make a turn and try to use the rudders manual, especially during landings. That's kind of crucial. So anyway, I'm gonna sit down here and we're gonna start off the engines again. The brake, the parking brake is on right now. So I'm just gonna, I don't know if I really need any mixture, we'll see. Oh well, it worked. Oh well, why do I have full throttle? That was so bad, guys. I'm sorry. I'm glad I had the parking brakes on. Anyway, well, I think we're gonna take off. We're gonna fly around a little bit here to the left, and we're gonna approach the San Francisco city, and we're gonna check some landmarks, and then we're gonna have a landing, and then I'm gonna give you my first impression of this flight simulator in virtual reality with the HTC Vive compared to the X-Plane 11 especially. Guys, I gotta tell you that the frame rate looks great so far. I don't see any hiccups on frame loss or even reprojection. I got some tracking issues there for a second, but that's not a problem from the game itself. So let's see, I'm gonna grab the yoke and I'm gonna pull the handbrake in some way. Well, I'm supposed to grab it, I'm not sure. There we go. And I have to really remember that I'm using the left touchpad to actually... Whoa, okay, this was not easy to use the touchpad as a... Whoa, man. As a rudder. It's gonna take some time to get used to. Okay, let's just take off, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a noob. This is my first time flying with the hands in virtual reality with the Aerofly FS2. Wow, guys, this doesn't look bad for being a default scenery. Look at the
airport.
Wow, it really looks awesome. Huh, look at the scenery as well. It actually looks very photorealistic. I think this scenery is photorealistic, taken from photographs or satellite photographs. The water doesn't really look like water, I think, but I mean, oh well, it still looks nice, it looks detailed, and we can already now see the San Francisco city at the horizon over there. So I'm gonna move back a little bit just so you can see a little bit more, because here is my view I would like to have while flying in virtual reality like this with the virtual cockpit. But I think, oh, I'm just gonna change the pitch, I think, just for a short second. Whoa, I'm really trying, guys. Come on, go down. There we go. But I think you will see more if I'm having the view a little bit more like this, so you can get a full picture of it. Wow, this is not bad looking, guys. So I have to actually hold the grip button on my Vive controller all the time to actually hold the yoke, because as soon as I release it, it's gonna it's not holding the yoke anymore. And could be a problem, I see, because, well, if you're doing a long flight, this could be quite exhausting. So I don't know how I'm supposed to... Whoa! Whoa, okay, now I know. We have the right touchpad for this. Let me see, guys, I'm just gonna try that. Oh yes, look at that. So I can use the right touchpad as well on my Vive controller to steer the airplane with the yoke. Wow, I mean, this is nice. Not bad at all. Whoa, it could be quite confusing if you happen to use both of them at the same time. Anyway, wow, guys, I'm impressed. Look at the scenery, it's not bad looking. It's quite flat over here, but still, look at the mountains and the scenery itself. The textures really look photorealistic. Nice color palette. It really feels like in real life in some way. Wow, so let's just fly over those mountains for a short second and get the feeling of it. I'm just gonna release the throttle just slightly, and wow, and the frame rate is just perfect, guys. I get no reprojection at all. If I had, I would see it right away because I'm using asynchronous reprojection right now. Look at the trees, they look good as well. They're very similar to the trees in X-Plane 11, built out of like 2 sprites or something. Whoa, what just happened? Whoa, okay, that was not good. Oh man, we stalled there for a second. So guys, no, I'm not a professional flight simmer, you know that already. I play this, or I use those flight simulators just casually. And I've been running a lot of X-Plane 11 lately. But still, it's quite a difference playing this Aerofly flight simulator compared to the X-Plane 11. Every simulator is a little bit different. Wow, this looks nice. We have no traffic on the roads or the highway. That's a shame. I think, at least. I don't think there is any traffic. No, it's just painted traffic, or just like, this is just photorealistic images of real traffic. So in X-Plane 11 you have a little bit more living scenery, of course. But who cares anyway? It looks nice. Oh, and here's the stadium I actually fly by last time in X-Plane 11, so we can have it like a comparison here. Wow, it's really sensitive. The yoke is so sensitive. It's so easy to fly wrong. Huh, looks great. Wow, okay, wow, it's really sensitive. Whoa, okay, I have to use my whoa, I had to use my touch pad on the right controller because I kind of lost control over the yoke for a second. Not good. But so far so good. I'm flying very low, I know that, but I want to show you the scenery. I'm gonna change the pitch a little bit just to go down like this. I can maintain this altitude. And we have a lot of buildings. The auto mesh, or the auto generated buildings are there. They're not quite many out here, at least, even though we're running full or ultra level of detail. It still looks nice. There's something very realistic into this look of this flight simulator. I cannot tell you what it is, but there's something I really feel is more realistic than in X-Plane 11. And I mean, I'm only talking about the visuals right now, okay? Maybe it's the color palette, I don't know. Maybe it's because we have actually some clouds here. Maybe we're gonna climb up to the clouds in a second. We'll see if we can do that. But for now, we're gonna go down and check the scenery in San Francisco City for a second. Wow, I'm not used to the controls, guys. It's so difficult to hold the airplane, well, steady while using, because it's so sensitive. The yoke is really sensitive. I gotta tell you, I'm quite surprised and impressed about the level of detail with the buildings and so. They really look nice. They're different height, all of them, or most of them, and I like that. And the city really looks quite photorealistic, actually. I've never been to San Francisco, unfortunately, but I've been always dreaming about doing so. Wow, you know, the feeling of just flying in a flight simulator in virtual reality is just amazing. Wow, look at this. Wow, this looks amazing. This looks really cool. And yes, I know this flight simulator is not so advanced and realistic as the X-Plane 11. A lot of people have been talking about that. The aerodynamics and the physics are much more improved or much more realistic in X-Plane 11 than they are in this flight simulator. But still, graphic wise, with this default terrain, I would say that this simulator kind of takes the edge in some way. And have in mind, this actually kind of feels better and looks better than with the custom Mr. X scenery I had for the X-Plane 11 in San Francisco. I mean, It's quite amazing that the default scenery can look like this. Oh, we're gonna fly to, of course, we're gonna fly to Alcatraz and have a look there. And the level of scale is just perfect. The airplane, the cockpit just feels awesome. I had a few stutters actually now I feel, but there is no reprojection at all. So I'm not sure if the stutters are because I'm recording this at the same time. It could be because of that. Okay, so let's see how Alcatraz looks from up close. I'm gonna try to use the rudders for a second. Whoa, okay, whoa, let's see. Whoa, this is not easy. Wow. Alcatraz in virtual reality again, guys. And this looks quite realistic. Wow, I'm surprised. And also the water doesn't really look that realistic, to be honest. It just feels more like a plain texture, but still, I mean, it works. In a flight simulator like this, it works, and especially if we can maintain a stable 90 frames per second, just like I'm doing right now. I mean, I prefer to have just some textures over the water instead of a lot of water effects. I mean, why not? Alcatraz again. Okay, I think we need to climb a little bit. I love the clouds, they look awesome. And I know I'm flying very low in this video, just like I did in my last video as well. But this is just to show you how it actually looks up close. Everything is gonna look even better once you climb, of course, up on the 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 feet. Wow, it feels like I'm losing control for a short second sometimes. I don't know why that happens. But anyway, we're gonna take almost the same path as we did in our X-Plane 11 San Francisco video. And well, I can tell you that the scenery looked better in X-Plane 11, especially over here. There were much more buildings. And I think, well, if we can have a default scenery looking like this, I'm really impressed. I can just imagine how a custom scenery could look like in this Aerofly FS2 flight simulator. I'm not sure if custom scenery even is possible. Probably it is. Huh. This looks great. Not bad looking. Look at the mountains over there. It looks fantastic. So yes, I may be boring because I'm flying the same route I did last time, almost the same route. But this is just to show you how it works in virtual reality, and also to do some comparison between X-Plane 11 and this Aerofly FS2 flight simulator. I can tell you that the performance is just awesome. I get a few frame drops so far, but wow, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Perfect frame rate, lovely graphics, lovely scenery, such a lovely cockpit, and wow, I like this. Even though it's more simple than the X-Plane 11 flight simulator, it's not that realistic. I think this simulator kind of takes the edge in terms of the graphical quality, at least here in San Francisco. So this is not a realistic flight. This is not an instructional video to learn you how to fly. It's just a video to let you know that this flight simulator actually exists, and it does a great job. I gotta add though that it's quite expensive. It's around 60 bucks, or it is 59 or 60 bucks. Sometimes you can find it on sale on Steam, but mostly it's gonna cost around 60 bucks. And that's also 60 euro, I think, if you convert it, if you live in Europe. if you are not a very hardcore flight simulator guy, if you just want to fly around, if you want to fly around, probably around the world, or at least around in United States, if you want to get the immersion of this awesome feeling of flying a flight simulator in virtual reality, well, I can already now recommend you this. And have in mind, there are many airplanes in this simulator, and well, I like it. Let's see, do I have any options here? I don't actually think so. The application buttons on the Vive controllers does nothing. The right controller or the left touchpad only resets me like that. I'm gonna push a little bit forward like that, and the right one is well, for the steering with the yoke, and the left one, if I just move it, I'm gonna steer the rudders. So there is no settings whatsoever, and the grips are just for the interaction with the hands. Anyway guys, I think this is not bad. It's an expensive simulator, yes, but it is a flight simulator. Some people call it a game, but I would still say that this is kind of a simulator. You can actually interact with the aircraft almost like in real life. Very similar to the X-Plane 11. I haven't found any difference yet. The biggest difference between this simulator and the X-Plane 11 is of course the physics and the aerodynamics. Also the plane models, especially outside, they look better on the X-Plane 11, and they are physically moving better, and there are a lot of things in X-Plane 11 that this simulator actually miss. But still, guys, I really feel familiar, and this is maybe the best part, guys. This simulator has awesome performance. I'm having 90 frames per second all the time. I got a few frame drops occasionally, and that's probably because I'm recording it at the same time. But I mean, I cannot feel any reprojection, and I'm using ultra level of detail, and that is quite crazy if you think about it. I'm gonna change the pitch again, or maybe a little bit back like this. Just gonna try to land this thing. I know I'm heading totally wrong here. Wow, I love this. You know, flying in virtual reality is just freaking amazing. And when everything looks so great, when it's so sharp and it's so fluid, it's so butter smooth, everything moves butter smooth, it's even a bigger joy for me. So well, let's see, let's try to use the rudders. Oh yeah, oh man, it's not easy. I'm gonna try, yes. Okay, I'm gonna show you how I use the rudders now. Whoa, there we go. So the rudders are very sensitive. I think it's supposed to be like this with this airplane. And I hope I'm not gonna crash, guys, because this is actually my first fly doing this VR hand interaction in in this Aerofly FS2 flight simulator. So I may totally fail in this. Hopefully I won't. Well, we'll see about that. I'm approaching the runway now. It looks to be good so far. So even though the scenery looks a little bit more dead, it's not that great looking as on the X-Plane 11. Wow, I'm losing a lot of altitude. Let's go up a bit, I think. Okay, maybe we can stabilize it now. It still feels nice. I mean, it still looks nice. There's nothing wrong with it. Whoa. Okay, please let me land this beautiful Cessna. Whoa, I almost lose the grip there for just a short second. Whoa, I'm a little bit short on the runway, I think. I should be able to make it. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, no. I'm going up again. Sorry, guys. I'm so amateur. I'm so newbie at this. Okay, down with the throttle. I cannot grip the throttle. Oh, well, oh, man. Okay, and then we have the rudders. I almost forgot about them. Oh, man. Well, at least I made it. It was not a pretty landing. But I made it, and it feels great. So, well, you know me, I love flight simulators. I always get so excited and so blown away flying around in virtual reality, and I gotta tell you, I'm quite impressed about what Aerofly FS2 flight simulator has accomplished, because the interaction with the hands actually works great. Above my expectations, especially considering we have actually hands with those fingers. So we actually have to align our hands to those buttons and the knobs to actually, well, turn them and push them and everything. And just as you saw, I could actually turn on and off the landing lights, for example, just like by having my finger up on it, just like in real life. And that is awesome. That really makes a difference compared to the X-Plane 11. So, well, I really like the interaction, even though I think that the interaction with the yoke is a little bit different. It's a little bit more difficult because you are actually pushing and pulling that yoke just like in real life, as well as rotating the yoke just like in real life compared to how I've been playing X-Plane 11 in the past. I know this has previously been updated in X-Plane 11 as well, so you can actually choose this type of interaction. So you're pushing and pulling and everything instead of just like leaning the controller. But still, I have not tried that with the X-Plane 11, so this was my first try ever flying like this, and it is a challenge, especially considering you have to hold your hands all the time like this, or at least one hand, and steer the airplane. As soon as you lose the grip, you know, the airplane is just gonna go crazy. And yes, we have that right touchpad, so we can still control the yoke by, well, having it on the knee, for example, and just resting our hand. But I'm not sure if that method is so well. It's good that it is there, but there should be some kind of way to actually hold the yoke and some kind of, well, move my hand to my knee and try to rest it while I'm still holding it and still can push it forward, pull it backwards and everything. I think that would actually, well, make it much more simple, especially for beginners, and especially for beginners flying in virtual reality, because this is not easy. It may look easy, but it really isn't. And that landing I did, it looked terrible, but it was my first try, so bear with me, guys. I think I really did quite well anyway. I would like to see some kind of teleportation method just like in X-Plane 11 has. You can teleport out of the plane, you can walk around the plane, you know, take a look at it. You can jump into the front seat, to the back seat, especially in those big airliners. You can actually go inside of them in X-Plane 11 and just walk through all the passenger seats, you know. It's quite a crazy feeling to do that in virtual reality, but I think it's not possible in this stage, at least with the Aerofly FS2, and that is what is missing so far. But apart from that, I'm really impressed. I think the interaction works great, and the performance, guys, the performance is truly awesome. I had 90 frames per second almost all the time. It was butter smooth. Guys, I know I got some frame drops, and I was actually recording this at the same time, and looking at the video now, I can see there are some frame drops in this video, but I can admit that I could not see them while flying around. I could maybe see like 4 or 5 frame drops totally in the whole session that I played that you just saw. So it's great performance. I was playing this with ultra settings, the maximum settings, so it's quite impressive, and it also looks great. I mean, the graphics are great, the sound effects was good. I think the engine sound was even better than in the X-Plane 11. So there are a lot of things that I like more in this simulator for some reason. I think both are excellent. But I can still point out that if you are a beginner, if you're new into this, I really can recommend you to start off with the Aerofly FS2 flight simulator, because it's much easier to begin with. You have much more tutorials as far as I know, especially in virtual reality. Everything is working as it's not in the X-Plane 11, and the learning curve is not so steep that it is with the X-Plane 11. So have that in mind. I hope you enjoyed this capture. Please hit that like button. Thanks you so much for watching, and also subscribe to my channel. There's gonna be a lot of cool gameplays coming up, reviews and so. I also got the Samsung Odyssey VR headset yesterday, so I'm having it here. It's still not even unboxed, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna try this simulator with this Samsung Odyssey Windows Mixed Reality headset very soon as well, and especially compare the image quality, the performance, and a lot more things. So guys, thank you once again. Have a lovely Saturday night, and see you hopefully tomorrow again, if not on Monday then. Cheers!